Hello, everyone. This is Tom, and welcome to the Lone Wolf Prepper channel for my Sunday night live broadcast. Anyway, want to do a little stuff about YouTube real quick. I guess YouTube doesn't like my shorts a lot. Some of my shorts with the satire. I guess they don't like my sense of humor. I'm gonna go into that real quick. Like bring that up right away. The short I did about the two bulls fighting, right? A couple days ago or yesterday. Okay, that it's had one point. Hi, Carol. It's had 1.7, 1,700 views, and it's growing. It's been growing all the time. It's only got 29 likes. It's got 0 comments. I did get 3 subs off of it, and it's been put on the feed 2,800 times. So that's a 60% view rate, and they're viewing 135% of it. Okay, that one's doing pretty good, but not my best stats, right? But then get this one. This is what I say YouTube, when they come and say they don't shadow ban and stuff. Okay, I say that one's got 2,800 times on the feed. Okay, with only 29 likes, 0 comments. I did get 3 subs, okay? Then we go to my Tim Waltz one, his Secret Service detail. Okay. Oh, and also on that note, the bulls fighting, that was 99% of the time it was put on the short feed. That's where most of the views came from. I'll get through this real quick. Anyway, just to show you what us YouTubers, conservative YouTubers, are putting up with. We're trying to get the real meat and potatoes out there. Okay, that's a couple bulls fighting. That's bread and circus, a distraction. And then Tim Waltz, the Secret Service detail, to get to the point about his Second Amendment gun control he has in Minnesota. Okay, 19 views, but it got 1 comment, 2 subscribers, and 19 views. It was only put on the feed 26 times. That's a 70.4% view rate. They're watching 100% view duration, but views from the short feed is only 30%. Now you can go through my videos, and you just the ones that have low view rates, watch them, because those are the ones they don't want you to hear. Those are the ones that obviously don't have misinformation, so they can be taken off. But whatever, this is what YouTubers that are trying to get the message out are dealing with. All right. Also, the comments, now that my channel's getting bigger, but some of the comments I get. I mean, that one short I did, in that one shirt that where the collars tore up a little bit. I mean, I even got a comment about that, negative comment about who wears a shirt that the collar is tore up. Now, anybody who's married to a working man knows I finally got my shirt broke in. This is what you got to deal with. And then the comments I got about putting the horses out on green grass and saying if you had more control of your horses, your dogs wouldn't need to. That's a game they play. What do you mean control my horses? I can sit there and open the gate up, lead them around the whole property without any type of attack on them. Yeah, I have no control over my horses. See, this is the thing. This is what you got to deal with on YouTube. Okay. Anyway, but whatever. Keep them coming. Keep these comments coming. All right. A lot of them I just push off, but some of them I respond to because they're just beyond stupid. And I respond to it always when I can shut them up and shut them down immediately. And this is the thing. Debating a first grader isn't that hard. Okay, I did pass first grade comprehension. These people didn't. Okay, and I realized that a lot of these people, especially with my thought of the day, I mean, some of them, I had one of them where I had only 26% likes, and it was mostly dislikes. And this is one thing about YouTube I noticed too. They're putting all my videos on liberal feeds right away. And how can they tell they're liberal feed? Of course, YouTube knows whether you're conservative or liberal, but they put them on liberal feeds first. Okay. And the thing is, when the liberals start responding to it too much in a positive way, boop, the video gets yanked. Just like that. Like it never, it's still on there, but they're not going to sit there and do anything. They're not going to put it on the feed or nothing. They're not going to give it no visibility. Okay. And I really don't care if you don't like what I have to say. See, this is America. I don't have to agree with you, and you don't have to agree with me. I'm not expecting you to agree with me. A world full of lone wolves like me would not be a happy world. But a world full of people that disagree with me wouldn't be a happy world either. Okay, but I really don't care. Change the channel then. But if your first thing you got to do is make a comment, a negative, insulting comment, that shows me where your intelligence level is. Okay, no way to win a debate. But anyway, but YouTube will change. When Trump gets back in the office and Bev Bezos loses her or his, whatever, social media empire, because he's going to break these people up. He needs to break them up. All right? Just has to. This is not allowed. When they can sit there and affect elections and silence people, for one thing, they need to be held accountable, but they need to be broken up, Carol. People need to respect each other's opinion. Exactly. That's what we used to do. If you disagreed with somebody, it wasn't a microaggression where you had the right to kill somebody. Since when? This is how you solve problems. You communicate. This is where I stand. This is where you stand, without doing insults and whatever. If you disagree with me and the first thing you got to do is insult me, that's your argument. You have no argument. I don't have a problem debating anybody. But if I got to sit there and go down to first grade comprehension skills, this is ridiculous. You want to make a comment about something on my videos, you see, go watch my other 700 videos I got on. Maybe I got something that pertains to that. That'll make you look stupid. I know, whatever. But these social media platforms are going to be changed. They're going to be held accountable. These CEOs, not the company, needs to be fined. These people in charge that violated people's First Amendment rights need to go to prison. And people that lost their livelihood because of the YouTube algorithm, because they used to make their living on YouTube and they basically got canceled, well, that's a class action lawsuit. Just because you disagree with somebody. And this is the thing about YouTube too. They're losing money hand over fist. These commercials it's amazing how you're watching something and all of a sudden your phone will go to the first thing on your feed that's an advertisement and you never touched it. How's that happen, YouTube? You're losing money out the ass. And you got this awesome product that the people want. It's called The Truth. And you flat out refuse to put it on your channel or promote it on your channel. Makes no sense to me. No sense at all. But whatever. I didn't go to business school. I just ran a successful business. Just couldn't find no help. Anyway, but when the status quo changes, then then that's when True Social comes up. And Jeff Bezos get put to the wayside and thrown in prison. In Rikers Island, where they want to stick Trump. But anyway, that's enough on that. Let's get to the subject. The coming conflicts. Okay. Now I want to start with the domestic conflicts. Because, see, what happens in the next month or so is all going to be dependent on the Democrats. The Democrats are in charge, are navigating the path right now. We're coming up to a fork. And they choose left or right. And us patriots, us conservative constitutionalists, we're going to have to react to that, whatever decision they make. Now, I'm going to go with the first one, that Trump wins in a landslide, like we all know he's going to do. And I'm going to make a video about that, where I've been following up on a lot of these early voting and stuff, and these swing states where he won by tens of thousands of votes, not many. A lot of these swing states, there's already a difference, that amount of difference in the between the number of Republicans that are voting and the lack of Democrats. Anyway, it's starting to. Anyway, he's going to win his ass off. He's going to landslide probably. I say he might even take all 50 states. People may say I'm crazy, but whatever. I really don't care. Even better than Reagan. You know why? Because the country's in a worse condition than it was after 4 years of Jimmy Carter. In 1980, it wasn't. I mean, Reagan took 46 states, but it wasn't half as messed up. It was the economy stupid. Inflation rates were crazy. They just figured out new ways of doing bookkeeping to run the economy to hide it. Otherwise, we'd be 10 times worse in the Jimmy Carter years. Wouldn't you agree, Carol? How many people were on welfare back in 1980 compared to now? Or on some type of entitlements? But anyway, so we're going to say that the Democrats are going to say Trump won. They're going to accept the win. And, they're going to punt, and, the higher ups are going to try to do better in 2028. But the people that they got completely brainwashed, and they're thinking Trump's a Hitler, and Trump's going to throw him in jail, and Trump's going to call out the military. Yeah, Trump's going to call out the military. Who changed DOD 5240.01 again? I don't think Trump did. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. But anyway, if they accept it, okay, and these thunderheads, Antifa and BLM, worse than the 2020 riots, they get out there and stuff, okay, and they start creating havoc. Well, up until January 21st, Trump can't do nothing about it. But on January 21st, if these knuckleheads are still doing this, as of that day, what can he do again? Thanks to the Democrats? Oh, yeah. DOD Directive 5240.01. That's why I think they're going to do something with that before then, because why would they give Trump the authority to put down the BLM and Antifa riots? Okay. But anyway, blue cities will immediately go up when he's announced as president. They'll go up in flames. Okay. If you are a Trump supporter in these towns, and these people know he had a Trump sign in your yard and stuff. I was watching The Prepared Mind, and I think he said it was Florida, where some resident is sending out letters to his neighbors, basically saying, "We know who you are." I made a video about this when he's unhinged. Hi, Jeanette, how you doing? I'll get it sent off tomorrow. Email me or message me your address. Yeah, martial law's coming into play. Like I say, they got all these plans already written up. They know where they're going to put the roadblocks. I mean, people don't understand the active duty military, how fast they can move and do all this stuff. The shock and awe is going to stun everybody. And like I say, where's the limitation on what weapons they can use? Are they going to start mowing people down with M60s and tanks? A group takes over a large area, they're going to use tactical nukes. But anyway, let's get back to they don't fight it. But anyway, so but before Trump gets in the office, they're going to tear these cities apart. They are. I made that video about you got to be aware of unhinged liberals. I mean, they are going to move from the signs to the people. Remember, microaggression. They got this in their head that they're allowed to harm somebody because they're upset with something they did, said, or what they saw in their yard. They have no control over their emotions. I mean, holy cow. Thank God I didn't think like that under being microaggression. That wouldn't have been good for the public, especially as much as I got messed with my life. But anyway, you got to protect yourself. I tell you, if you are in a big city, especially a blue city, you need to vote early that Friday, that Saturday, get out of town and go somewhere. Isolate if it's a camping spot, out into a national forest. Get to know Mother Nature for a week. And then on that Friday, if your house is still there, then go back to your job. Okay? It's not going to be safe. These people have threatened us. They're crazy. They're angry. And they'll go through with what they say what they're going to do. All right? So anyway, yeah, the blue cities are going to explode. And like I say, my biggest fear is any Trump supporter in there. They want us to be punished for this. See, this is the strongest the communists will ever be in this country. This is their all or nothing. They have to do it. They got the presidency. They got the government. They're in charge of the government, the military. Okay, can you imagine the Bolsheviks? If it's their 1917 November Revolution. I never thought of that. But anyway, it's all or nothing for these people. And if they don't get their way, like I say, what happens when a 5-year-old don't get his way after it's completely spoiled? Well, these people are our age that are completely spoiled. Okay. I mean, when you see a video of a guy running over a Trump sign, but he gets his tire flattened, it's funny, but that shows their mental state. I mean, to sit there and take your aggression out on a Trump sign, and they're going to say that I'm not normal, that I'm not stable? Really? I mean, I just don't understand it. But yeah, until Trump takes office, hi, Kristen, until Trump takes office, it's going to be hell. Maybe if we get a hard winter, which I think we will get, it'll tone it down. Because that's one thing these people can't feel uncomfortable. All right. They're definitely not going to be throwing bottles with ice in it if it's below zero outside. I mean, I love to have one of these people out here, the ones that get on YouTube and threaten me and stuff. I'd be like, come on out here. I let them come on out here. I say, oh, wait first. We got to fight tonight because we got a full day of work ahead of us. And if you still got energy to fight at the end of the day, then we'll go for it. Have them get a couple blisters. But anyway, Trump will put an end to it. I mean, there's no way, especially since he's got this directive, that he's going to allow it to go like 2020. And put it down hard. Make examples. This is not the proper way you act in the United States. And that will also give a message to the world not to mess with us. And that's another thing when Trump gets into office. The world conflict that's just on the horizon, that's just waiting till after the election to see what happens, will be avoided. Number one, Trump, we're not going to be funding World War III no more. So Ukraine's going to have to go to the peace tables. Okay? Well, Rocket Man's going to settle down. And Putin will start feeling probably a little safer knowing that Trump's not spouting off his lips about how Putin needs to be thrown in jail and Russia's going to be dismantled. I wonder why Putin acts like that. Well, imagine if your neighbor said he's going to throw you, kill you, and burn down your house. Would you feel safe around him? Would you feel your property safe around him? Carol, I'm filling all my gaps in my preps now because after election I won't be leaving the house. Yeah. And like I say, if you start seeing any strange military, when you see the Humvees start leaving the base with me, because you've seen the Humvees drive around, they don't have machine guns mounted on their I can't remember the name of it now, but on top of the Humvees. Where you start seeing that and the tanks leave the base, you need to get wherever your husband is, you need to meet in the middle. Because 4 miles from Fort Bragg, they'll have that place closed down first. Same with Impeach in Jacksonville. Oh, there you are, Impeach. I didn't even see that. I was just talking about you. Make sure you have a bug out plan for all this goes south and martial law is enforced and you don't get stuck in Jacksonville and can't get out. Even if you got to rent a submarine, buddy. Anyway, okay. But the thing is, when Trump gets into office, this will all settle down. And then we got the next hurdle in front of us, getting our country back. And I'll still be on YouTube because I'll be harder on Trump. Because if he don't follow through and get our country back, and I mean, we need to get back to the basics of the Constitution. The stuff that made this country great, instead of this democracy they kind of trying to push on us. Anyway, that's what I see happening, and I see world peace. See, it's amazing how I can see that with Trump in my crystal ball. It's like Reagan getting in office again and the world going, okay, we need to take a breath. And that's what's going to happen if Trump gets into office. Okay? Yeah, the lunatic BLM, Antifa, Hamas, and all those, they're not going to take a breath. But the rest of the world's going to take a breath. Okay? And then we'll have to deal with the stuff in our country. Okay. You don't have anything to worry about? Well, I'm good. That's good. Impeach. It's just, there's a lot of good people out there. And we need to make it on the other side. And they're going to do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. You got that 1911, don't you? Anyway, it's just, it's crazy times, like you say. I can't believe it. Now, this is what's going to happen if they don't fight it, don't steal it. If the higher ups don't try to steal it and they let Trump take office. And there's one thing else, remember. Who's got to certify the election on January 6th? The Vice President, Kamala Harris. Oh my goodness gracious, that's going to be a hurdle. Yeah, Carolina has great people. I loved it there. I love North Carolina. It's got, it had the beach. I'll tell you what, Impeach. When I went to boot camp out in California, we went to Camp Pendleton for that few weeks for field training and the rifle range and stuff. And they took us out the first night. We got to go on a beach run, right? And that's the first time I'd seen the ocean. And the first time I got to, we didn't get to swim in it, but we ran through it, right? Up to our ankles in a little bit of spots. But anyway, I got to Camp Lejeune in early November of '86, and it was the Marine Corps birthday. I think it was November 17th, 1986. And it was out there in the ocean, and they thought I was all nuts. But I was out there in my shorts hitting those waves. Yeah, I had some good times in the military. I'll tell you what, I really did. Anyway, okay. Anyway, eventually Trump takes office, we'll get peace, and then we'll have a lot of work ahead of us. A lot of work. It's going to take all of us. You know, people say we can't deport all these illegals. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. It's just going to take all of us. The city gets together, the people get together, like I say, you're paying all these taxes to support these people. Billions of dollars. Okay? I would say that Trump needs to come up with a policy that if the individuals get together, they get, like the sheriff deputizes them, and they get reimbursed for their expenses to haul these people back to the border, kick them off the bus. I mean, if the city's renting 10-person vans, whatever it takes, we can get rid of them. If they could make it here on their own, we can get rid of them. Don't sit there and tell me we can't. I'm so sick of hearing that. It's just going to take all of us. Okay, I'm sorry, Impeach, I haven't been watching that. It's the state that has everything in it still at reasonable price. Oh yeah, and then my bestest friend in the Marine Corps was a hillbilly from Hendersonville. And he's the one who really taught me how to navigate the woods, you might say. He's the one who taught me seeing the natural trail through the woods and stuff. You know, and that's where I showered under a waterfall for the first time. Like I say, you know, we were out there hiking through the woods, you know, with our pistols and our rifles, our pistols over like this. We were both in the service, walking down the interstate back up to Henderson. And Kevin goes, don't worry about that. They'll just think we're feds looking for fugitives. You know, this is the freedom people don't understand we had. Anyway, okay, now let's go into if the Democrats steal the election. If they come out, you know, a couple days later, like that commercial said, okay, I heard of, yeah, it's up there, Hendersonville. Oh, and then another story about Hendersonville, right? The first night I'm there, right? I went to town because I wanted to get something to drink, some alcohol. And I'm driving around this town. I can't find no liquor store. I go back to Kevin. I said, where the hell's the liquor store? Guess what I got told? It's a Hendersonville. Is it Henderson? No, I think it's Hendersonville. By the way, it was a dry county. First experience of a dry county. Anyway, but okay. Enough with memory lane, all right? Like I say, any Marine or sailor or Army guy who's been deployed has tons of sea stories. Don't ever set them down and let them talk for too long. You won't get out of there. All right. If the Democrats steal it, remember we got that commercial going on to that teacher talking to her seniors saying that cast your vote is safe, it may take a few days to count. Okay. This is the thing. Okay. I think they're going to lose Virginia. They definitely lost North Carolina, and they're going to lose Pennsylvania. Okay. The election's over by 8 o'clock Eastern time. If it's a fair election. Okay, over. So we're going to know real quick if they start saying every vote needs to be counted. Excuse me. We start hearing that stuff, we know the cheat's in, okay? But see, they have to get 90 plus million votes. Do you realize they're going to have to get more votes than Joe Biden got? How is that possible? There's no way that she can all of a sudden become the most popular president ever with the most votes ever. My town just let liquor stores here 3 years ago. Really? Yep. Well, you know, alcohol. I got a question. Did the city itself build a liquor store so they could get their own personal money? I've seen cities do that too. You know, they okay it, but they get to sit there and do their own charter. Okay. I don't drink alcohol, buddy. So last time I had a beer was, I don't even know when, 2008 maybe. I'm just not I drank my share when I was overseas. I'll admit that, but I outgrew it, I guess. That's the thing when you get older. It's not like you get tired of doing your bad habits. You just kind of outgrow them. All right, get back to the subject time. This ain't a happy subject. Quit laughing. All right. So anyway, the YouTube commercial. What they're setting the stage. I never saw a commercial like that before. And like I say, years ago when I was growing up as a kid, we all knew by the next morning when I woke up who won in the election. But I guess times have changed. We got easier way of doing it with voting machines and stuff. So, yep. But anyway, so they're going to sit there and say she won. They're going to come out and say she won. Like I say, the press announced that Biden won. They'll do the same thing. Okay, because we're going to all know who won, but they're going to say, hold up. The press hasn't announced it yet. Even though everybody knows that 75% of the population voted for Trump, we don't know yet. Okay? But they'll come out and say Kamala won. And the thing with us, unlike if they say Trump won, how the violence is going to pick up immediately, not on our side. Okay, and remember about this Department of Defense Directive 5240.01. I'm never going to stop saying that because the average citizen doesn't know how much danger they're in. Have you seen military equipment in action? You definitely don't want to see it in your neighborhood. Okay? But one thing about that order, it doesn't have to be going on. Remember, all they got to do is suspect it might happen. See, our side's not organized. They're organizing their side. They got their Antifa, BLM, and now their orders so the military can come in and do their thing. Okay? We're not organized. Like I say, they can come out here where I live, where this county's twice as big as any other county, and we have, where I live in the part of it, one person for every 20 or 30 square miles. So how many people like me are out there? Trained Marines. Very few. They could come in one night in operation and take all of us out. Isn't this great that I got to worry about this in my country? By the way, they can get prepared. They can get set up. They see, the 101st and FEMA had to retreat to North Carolina from the militia. Okay? Stupid setup story. But see, now they're going to be able to call in the big guns when they think they see that. All they got to do is get on the news and say that's what's happening. And people will believe it. This is what I'm saying on my channel. We need to organize. We need to organize now. 16 more days, people. Actually, in a few hours, it's 15 more days. Okay, they already probably got the bricks ordered for the sidewalk, for the corners. The orders are already probably written to enact DOD Directive 5240.01. And I still think they're going to make Kamala president before the election. I don't know why I think that, but whatever. I could be wrong. But I just feel at the time of the election, she needs to be the big dog. Okay? And they may wait till the day before the election. And then they can figure they can get maybe the power of the office vote or something. But I tell you what, that would do nothing but piss Joe Biden voters off more than ever. And this is another reason the Democrats are going to lose. All these people that voted for Biden, all these old Democrats, see what you young radical Democrats have done? They're not going to vote. And unless they're like Jimmy Carter, who's comatose, I can't wait to vote for a woman so it can be worse than I had it. Anyway, but I believe violence for our side will break out slowly, okay? And it will gradually grow until the battle lines are drawn, you might say. Okay, and it's going to be urban against country. All you got to do is look at the electoral map. That's where they are. And this is the thing, everybody. They shouldn't be that hard to defeat. Okay? We have the food. Wyoming's got the oil. We got everything we need. And we can surround all of them. They're all concentrated. Okay? We got millions and millions of people. If you surround the East Coast, surround DC, surround New York, surround Philadelphia, that's even if we have to. Like I say, this election could prove, I mean, they lose New York. Just imagine all of a sudden it comes out that they start losing Rhode Island and Connecticut, New York, New Hampshire. It'll be over by noontime. Anyway, but like I say, we're still going on with the cheat. Okay, they're organized. That's one thing they've been doing all these years, organizing. Because, especially I think since Trump realized Trump was running, they couldn't beat him this time because they had pissed too many people off. That they had, that's why they're setting the stage for all this. Yep, Impeachy's going to win big. They can't cheat this time. But still, is that going to stop them? Like I say, to them, it's 1917. It's all or nothing now. All or nothing. They will never be this strong again for hundreds of years. And this is the thing about human nature. And this is why I said everybody needs to start a diary. I don't know if you saw that video, Impeach, but start a diary and record all this stuff. So maybe instead of 200 years, people reverting back because they forgot how bad it was, it can be 500 years. Or maybe even 1,000 years of peace. Okay? But yeah, please start a diary. But we're going to start slow, okay? And this is the thing, they're going to enact right away. DOD Directive 5240.01. Martial law. Now, I don't know how they're going to close down the entire countryside where we are. There's not enough of them. Okay? I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican out here. The military starts marching his ass out here, we're all on the same side. Okay, these are old Democrats here. We're all on the same side. Just like Democrats and Republicans have stood next to each other and fought many wars. Never stopped us from winning them. But anyway, I think it's going to come to, it's going to start slow, but I still, one thing about our side, we can be pushed quite a ways because we're thinkers, okay? We're intelligent. We just don't act on an emotion unless our lives are being threatened. But we're going to need the moral high ground. You know what I'm saying? We're going to need something like Lexington Concord moment, or maybe something even as small as the Boston Massacre. I don't know. But they're going to have to provide the spark. All right? So I think that, unless all of us, they'll supply the spark. They need to get the fight going. Because this is the thing. In order for them to take over the world, they got to conquer the American people. They have to conquer us. This feeling of liberty and independence and the right to pursue your happiness and God-given rights. The world's only been allowed that 250 years. That's too long. It's got to go. Time to bring the kings and queens back. This is what these people are thinking. All right? So anyway, we'll see what the battle lines are drawn, but we can surround them. All these big cities that are concentrated, we surround them. You shoot anything down that flies out, and there's a battle line there. And we starve them out. And people say, well, that's inhuman. No, this is war. Believe me, they're willing to do a lot of inhuman stuff to us. If we don't stop this, that order that's going to be used to start gathering people up and sending them to camps. Oh, that could never happen again. Okay. I tell you what, I hope that they don't try the cheat. I really don't. Because, Trump's going to get so many votes this time. He's already got so many votes. Like I say, I'm going to do a video on the swing states where mathematically he's already won. And if I can figure it out, obviously those political science degree people can figure it out. Plus, I mean, like I said, every time she opens her mouth, she loses more votes. All right. It'll be urban against country. We have the food. And another thing, an army marches on its stomach, right? We can starve New York City out, Washington, D.C. out. We could starve those cities out in days. Days! What's the military going to come out here and force me to do my job? Yeah. They'll never take away our guns. They'll never take away my first, second, any of my amendments. They'll never take away the Constitution from me. I took an oath to the Constitution. You're not going to take it from me to replace it with a Communist Manifesto 2.0. It's not going to happen. Okay? And I'm not the only one that feels that way. Hey, Impeach, I got a question for you. You want one of these shirts? Have you seen the back of it yet? Okay, it have whatever your name, whatever you want for your name, and then it have member of the Wolf Squad, and the thumbnail, and then on the back. It looks like that. If you want something like that, I'll put my email in the message in the chat. And like I said, I need to get a hold of Sonny. I have his shirt, but he won't send me his address because he doesn't have my email. But I'll put my email. You can send me your address. Carol's got her shirt. She loves it. I'd sure like to, or let me get you a coffee mug, buddy. Okay? Anyway, I don't have many friends. And I feel I'm actually getting friends on YouTube. I don't know you people, but we're all in this. We all realize we're in a sinking ship together, and I hope one day we all get to meet. I really do. I like meeting good people. I love to sit on your porch with you and Peach. Oh, I would love to just sit on your porch for an evening. And then I could return the favor, and you could come out and spend a night on my deck, huh? Anyway. All right. Talk about blockading the cities. Like I say, they're concentrated. Boom. Get them to where they're trapped. I mean, when they realize that corn is more important than oil, the only friends you have is on YouTube. I've seen them. They are very nice. I don't know how to email Tom. I'm not a computer savvy. All you got to do is see, I don't want to give my last name out. I mean, these trolls are bad enough. I really don't need one of them trying to come out here and really start something and end up getting hurt because they're fucking stupid. Okay. But to run email, like I say, Carol sent me her address through email, and I was able to send her the shirt off. Plus, I got some pens and stuff. But we don't have to do it right away. But it'd take a week to get your shirt made anyway. So anyway, blockade the cities, starve them out, demoralize them, and then when we win, okay, people can say, well, they can have their part of the country and we can have our part. No. This is our country, not the communist country. Our people who fought the revolution fought for this country, all of it, okay? They don't get one piece of sand. Except if they're pounding sand in prison. Carol, you going to give them my address? Could you do that? If you guys could figure that out. Anyway, and then when we win, we need to follow through with this. Like I say, this needs to be a case that's closed, just like World War II. Nuremberg 2.0. We need it. And we need to reinstate the Nuremberg Code when it comes to medical experiments, enforced medical procedures. That wasn't just for Germany. That was for the whole world. But then again, the people that were pushing that medical experiments on you, they didn't know about that. They didn't know that they were protected from that because people had already gone through that. The Jews. Anyway, but then we can end it. But we will prevail. I mean, they're concentrated. If I was a general and I was looking at the map, I mean, divide and conquer. I mean, you're in a battle, you sit there and break up the forces, surround the forces into smaller pockets. They're already in pockets. Okay? Already in pockets. All we got to do is surround them. It's like they're all in Stalingrad just waiting for the Russians to completely surround them. As a military strategic point they're in a losing battle. And like I say, all the equipment in these military bases, it's ours. We paid for it. Okay? If I want to sit there and go to a military base when this all breaks down, that we take over and get enough equipment to arm my squad, guess what? It's mine. When they sit there and say the national debt, right? I love how they say this. Think about it this way. The national debt. Every taxpayer owes this much to the national debt. I may even make this for my thought of the day tomorrow. No, it's not that. Every politician owes the American taxpayer that much. Make sense? That's a good thought of the day. I wonder who that can piss off. Like that American Dream one. It's the truth. All these people are trying to achieve the American Dream with government handouts. Doesn't work, does it? Anyway, but and then one thing about, like I say, Trump, if he wins, then I'm going to close this out. I'll close this out with this. Trump, if he wins, like I say, the world's going to take a breath. Okay? If he doesn't win, this is when we're going to have world conflict. Because when our military is focused on the United States finally, okay, and they got to sit there and do whatever it takes to save their ass. And all these countries that we promise support to that we can't support, if Iran's got a nuke or a couple nukes or this even more powerful weapon than a nuke, Israel, you're toast. Okay, you're done. Once they see those aircraft carriers go the other way, turn back towards home, you're done, Israel. I guess you're going to have to go with the Samson option, and the whole Middle East can turn itself into glass. And then, Carol, you got to go. Okay, have a good night, Carol. Everybody can turn themselves into glass, problem solved. Their thousands and thousands of years of war are finally over. They finally created a weapon that can solve their problem. Okay. North Korea and South Korea. Okay. Need I say more? China and Taiwan. Need I say more? All these countries. And then Japan might be a little worried too with that. Definitely, with them, with Russia, China, and North Korea all by them, Japan's probably toast too. And people are like, why is China so mad at Japan? It's because you don't know World War II. That's why. World War II, I don't care what anybody says. It can say it started in September 1st, 1939, but it actually started when China invaded Japan, or Japan invaded China. God, when was that? Manchuria, 1931. I got so many dates that bouncing around in my head. I think it was 1931 or 1933 Manchuria, which caused us to do the oil embargo and basically cut off 85% of Japan's raw materials, which is the island was dependent on everything. So Japan had nothing, no other choice. See, they don't teach history. Okay, I'm not saying Japan was right, but the U.S. was doing what it's doing now. It was bullying countries around when it could. And then once a country decides, oh, I'm not going to take that no more, and I'm going to stand up for myself, then there's something wrong with that country. But anyway, if she gets in the office and all the countries realize that the U.S. has got more of its own problems, they're not going to nuke us. They're not going to come after us because we will launch our nuclear weapons and it's the end of the world. They'll let us destroy ourselves. Now, I don't think we'll destroy ourselves. I don't think it should be any problem for us to vets to beat the modern military, these Call of Duty warriors. I really don't see a problem. But the rest of the world's really going to suffer for the corruption the United States has spread throughout the world. Okay, and then you're going to have all these countries that are invested in dollars to grow, these third world countries to grow their economies. They're going to, they'll be in, hyperinflation overnight. Either you're going to suffer because bombs are hitting where you live, or you're going to suffer financially severely because there ain't nothing around. Okay, no matter what, the whole world's going to suffer. There's so much riding on this election. People do not understand. The Democrats, like I say, are the ones in the driver's seat. I appeal to all you Democrats that have the power to try to steal the election. And if you have any inclination of doing it, don't. Because you are not going to survive the hell that you're going to create. You won't. No matter what your narcissistic mind tells you, you won't. Everybody knows where your bunkers are at. They'll just be coffins, okay? And after you sit there and blow the whole world up, anybody who's left, show your face. See how that works. Okay? Because everybody that supports you, the beta males and, the people that, if their EBT card goes down for 10 minutes, they're crying, or if they don't have a Starbucks, or they can't, no way Kamal's going to win Trump. Winning by, I know he's going to win. Like I say, I'm going to do a video to prove with the differences in, the difference Biden had in these swing states, which we all know he didn't win any. But if he had 10,000 or 20,000 that he won the state by, there's already a difference in that in early voting. Okay? And we haven't even got to. Anyway, the Trump train, no problem. But see, this is the thing. I don't think they're going to give up power. Can you imagine if Trump were to get in there? This is what I say. If they allow him to become president, I will be on him every day because I want to see people in orange jumpsuits. If I'm expected to follow the law, okay, they are. If I can get punished, they can get punished. At least with Trump, I ain't going to have to worry about the FBI coming down the North Whitman Road to shoot the hell out of me. Yeah, impeach too. Yeah, we're all in danger. We all have gotten strikes from YouTube. We're already on that list. It's just not going to be a safe time. Anyway, Anyway, that's what's going to happen. So we got to pray Trump gets in. We got to pray that they allow the election to go fairly, or we don't have a choice anymore. Like that video I made. Okay, our inherited duty. Okay, a call to arms, our inherited duty. I mean, it's either when they try to steal it, we decide it's okay and we're going to bend over, or we need to start organizing. And yes, people are going to die. See, this is the thing. But you're going to die if I know I'm toast. But see, I'm a Marine, already a domestic extremist, and then on YouTube disagreeing with everything they say. And what did Hillary Clinton say about being held accountable for what spreading the misinformation? They're setting it all up. Like I say, I can honestly see. I don't know if you saw this one, Impeach, but Kamala Harris is president, Hillary Clinton is attorney general, Nancy Pelosi in charge of Homeland Security, and Liz Cheney in charge of the FBI. Now, what would you think of that? How safe would you feel in our country? Woo! That's enough to scare somebody silly. I think it's early voting. Also, I'm going to find out dates by me. Yeah, I'm going to vote early too. I'm going to go in this week because I don't want any chance of there being a snowstorm here on November 5th. And like I say, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I can't get out. Okay, we get 3 inches of snow with 50-mile-an-hour winds, and we got 5-foot drifts. It's crazy. But that's the way it is out here. But then again, we get dumped on too, where we can't get to town for 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not going to take that chance. I mean, just nuts. We all have to do our part. And like I say, when Trump wins, and if they allow him into office, we all need to do our part. But like I say, remember, it's up to Kamala Harris to certify the election on January 6th. Anybody can see a problem there? Like I say, they got to totally give up. And then if they give up and Trump, well, what you should do is start investigating all this crooked crap that's been going on. Okay, and another thing, if they say Kamala won, right after they do that, they will arrest Trump immediately. Immediately, if they say Kamala won, they will arrest Trump. And probably Elon Musk. And that's when it's going to be a bad time, people. That directive basically saying if they suspect, I call for organization so we can build up our military units against these guys. Obviously, they can suspect that in their own minds that I am a threat, and they can bring out the military to take care of me. You understand how this works? Anyway, everybody needs to get prepared. This ain't fun and games no more. We have kicked the can down the road till it turned into a 10,000-gallon gasoline tank, and it's going to hit the wall on November 6th. Hey, good night, Impeach. Have a great night. Like I said, I'd love to be able to sit on your porch with you one night. Maybe after we settle all this mess, you and I will actually be able to sit out there, have a smoke, and reminisce about the war being over and how great things are going to be in the future. Let's make a time for that, okay? Anyway, I appreciate everybody being here tonight, but this is why I'm saying we're in a serious time, people. If you want to know how determined these Democrats can be, just look at your crazed liberal Democrat and ask yourself, how far would they go to see me go to jail or see me killed? Or see it so I can't live the life I want? Anyway, I just, This is what happens when the truth isn't allowed to be taught, when everything has to be tolerated. You get God out of the system. We just lose our American culture and we lose our constitutional republic. Why would our country look like we thought like it used to when everybody's trying to create a democracy? Okay? We're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic, a country where our government has rules it has to follow, not rules it's allowed to just make up on its own. Okay. Anyway, everybody have a good night. Enjoy my shorts, my thought of the day this week. And like I say, go through those shorts real quick and go pick the ones that don't have many views on. You know nothing about it. I'll get 400 to 500 views in the first hour or two, and then it just drops to nothing. Kind of curious, huh? But don't worry, YouTube's not channel banning or nothing like that. I got so much evidence to prove to the contrary. But anyway, I'm glad everybody was here tonight. It was a good live. I hope spread the word. Everybody needs to get the vote out. Okay? Everybody, this is all hands on deck. And like I say, election is just one step of it. Then the work really starts for all of us. Anyway, I'm ready for it. More than ready for it. So anyway, everybody have a good night. This is a Lone Wolf Prepper. Out.